Hello, y'all. Welcome once again to another BMBBH. And this is Kev. And tonight I will be doing a spoiler review on the movie Creed 3. Now, I'm going to recommend that if you haven't watched the film yet, please do not watch this broadcast for the next 30 to 40 minutes, as I will be breaking down what I think of the film. I had a chance to go see it today, and just want to share a few things with everyone. So as you walk into this broadcast, or if you just happen to catch the replay, please hit the like, and if it's your first time here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This channel is definitely a growing channel, and just would love for you to partake. Yeah. So here we go. Just like I said, this is a spoiler broadcast. Spoilers all throughout. If you haven't seen the film yet and would like to go see the film and would like to be pleasantly surprised by what you see, I do not recommend that you tune in further. So, okay, you all been warned maybe two or three times. So, here we go. So, yeah, this is a pretty good film right here. I would definitely, if for those of you, if you're asking me, whether you should go see this film or not, yeah, go ahead. So Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. So we should always be supporting, the people who are actually trying. I would say, support black artists. I would say. I mean, it's just not just some wacky pro black thing that I'm doing. It's just that, hey, we need more people who are willing to represent us in a way that is a show of strength, that is sort of empowering. If don't take that word in the wrong context. But yeah, here's some things just about the film itself. Yeah, as many of you might have heard, it's not a Rocky film. I mean, it's spun off from the Rocky franchise, but for like the first time ever in a Rocky film, Sylvester Stallone is not in the movie. And yeah, the from what has been reported, he has an issue with the film itself. I've even listened to an interview where he would state that he would be willing to work with Michael B. Jordan again in this franchise, but it has to be without the other guy. And one could speculate that the other guy is Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler, the director of the first Creed film and the director of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, also our Fruitvale Station to his credit. I was about ready to give up on Ryan Coogler because I thought he was one of the ones that was not pushing to recast. He was pushing to not recast T'Challa, but I've stated this before. I was willing to give him another chance, based on the fact that this film was coming up, and I feel like although they had, they worked with what they had. I say that. Yeah, the performance from the actors were all great, and I would give honorable mentions to Michael B. Jordan himself, Felicia Rashad, and Jonathan Majors. Yeah, Jonathan Majors. He did his thing as the primary antagonist for the film, Damon Henderson. I also appreciated Tessa Thompson's performance as the supportive yet assertive wife, kind of. And it felt like, as you watch her up on screen, it felt as if she actually was into the role she was playing. Last the film I saw in her, with her in it before that was Thor: Love and Thunder, and Thor: Love and Thunder was not a very good film, and she was Kane Valkyrie, and a lot of people felt a certain way about that, but I mean, me, I only care about good performances, and you know, and some symbolism as well. But she just acted in it like she wasn't feeling the role in Thor: Love and Thunder. In this film, however, which I believe the first Creed film did introduce her as an actress in the role of Bianca, some roundaway girl who is a singer, performer, um, that that has this entire story arc that is along for the journey that Adonis Creed had to make himself. uh, so yeah, it's just I have to give a big ups to the trilogy for a consistent story arc and how well they treat the characters. um, yeah, is a real cool thing to see with a predominantly black film. Yeah, then you had, returning characters such as, you had Victor Drago, who was the main opponent for Creed in the second film. He made his return in the third film, sort of a side role, which I thought was cool. And as with the second film, that he righted or wrong as far as him losing, like to the boxer. Well, they named Wheeler in the second film, the one who beat him in the gym and took his car in the first film. So at the beginning of this film, he finally gets his rematch with Pretty Ricky Conlon, and this was like a 7 year time jump from the second film. So yeah, it took him some years to get back in the ring with him. But the way they played it, he was kind of toying with him. Yeah, he was acting like he was getting seriously hurt, but then it turns out he was just toying with him, and then he went ahead and put him away. But things really get started when the appearance of Jonathan Major's character, Damon Henderson. And this one is like it's like the what it established in the story was it was just like a rough bad boy versus the level-headed black guy, which is art imitating life for real. um yeah, because we see that very often. You have the bad boy type versus the I would say the guy who kept it together. And one thing that the story did show was Adonis could have easily been in Damon's position. Yeah. So there that was. Yeah, so yeah, let's get to the we're in the story right now. So a couple things just about the film itself. A couple things didn't make sense, like Felicia Rashard's character. Although it was pretty good. Eh, she did very well in her role, and I have nothing against her performance itself. It was like the thing that really got the animosity going between Adonis and Damon. It seems as if it just could have been prevented because it was a matter. He was writing letters from prison, which Damon in the story, he like had gotten out of prison after 18 years, like it seemed as if like half of his life was spent behind bars. She kept the letters that he wrote to Adonis. And like when they had this revelation as to why she kept the letters, she didn't really explain why. I mean, she just kind of defaulted to what Damon was doing now, which he was on some shady shit. So, I mean, it was like really it was no reason for her to keep the letters. And it was like also when it was supposed to be Victor Drago and Adonis's signature fighter in his gym going at it, but Victor was attacked, and you found out that Damon had something to do with it. And in the movie, it displayed like no repercussions for that, like not even as a co-conspirator or whatever. So I thought that was strange too. It wasn't like real big, so to speak. As to these story inconsistencies, it did it for me. It didn't do enough to throw the story off itself. It just for me those two things kind of like either they missed it in the filming or they got some uncut version where they actually cover it. But it was just, it wasn't very like big to continue the story on. Um, it was just kind of things they just kind of stuck in there, and they probably wrote themselves into a hole and couldn't figure out how to get out of that one smooth. And it just wasn't smooth enough as far as those two story elements. Um, yeah, the character. Okay, all right. This is the part. Like it was one part of the movie that I was kind of scared of a little bit. It was the mention of this character named Leon. So all throughout the film, they were building up that Leon had done something to uh Creed when he was a kid. When he was like there was part of it, part of his life where his mom had died, and then he was in group homes, and his dad, he didn't know who his dad was until Mary Ann said, "Hey, you're the son of Apollo Creed." That was the one thing that you people kind of have to remember about this. Like Adonis Creed, Michael B. Jordan's character was an outside child. So yeah, so the character Leon, they was building it up to where like Leon had really done something really messed up to him, and I was really really hoping they wouldn't go there. I was like, please don't make me don't piss me off with this film. Please do not go there. And hint hint, I just don't want to just come out and mention it. Like that, but it's just like it's just one of the most foul things you could do to a child. And fortunately they didn't do it. But who really for some kids it's like, yeah, getting abused like that is a very horrible memory because it's the feeling of pain and helplessness. But all Leon did was just beat him real bad. And I was like, and I'm like, am I relieved? you know, I had to think of myself as a human being for a second. Am I relieved that it was just he was just beating his ass and not something else? And it's too much of that, kind of emasculation bullshit that goes on in these films with the younger black boys, and I mean, and then when I was thinking about it, like after the relief I felt, I'm like, yeah, that could traumatize a kid as well, getting beat on like that. So it just and the get back though, the get back, he was like half Leon's size, and he put them hands on him. Which was the thing that got everything going in motion in the first place. The character Damon he was the highest ranked amateur ever before he went to prison. And he was kind of like one of these guys that, the whole black man, uh, yeah, let me just go ahead and say it. The whole black man versus nigga thing. Yeah, let me just come out and say it. It was like black man versus nigga. What's up, LaShawn? Like Damon is like one of these guys, that come out of jail and he wanted to pick up where he left off. And it's just an 18-year gap, and he could have did it when he was younger, but like I said, he was in prison. And Creed had done everything that Damon was supposed to do, so Damon became resentful. It's like your homie that want to come out of jail after all these years and still want to start a rap career. Man, I still got that flow, man. Or that dude in the neighborhood that ain't moved out of his mom's basement talking about he's gonna get a quarter pound of weed and make her come up or some shit. I was like, it just kind of came off at that. Yeah, but Damon came out of prison, said, "I want to be the world heavyweight champ. I want to be the champion." Shoot, and I mean, like, yeah, it's like due to plot convenience, I would say in the film, Damon became champion. And I mean, like, I didn't really have it. It did seem like it was plot convenience, plot. Yeah, I don't really like the whole plot. Damn, what word am I looking for to follow it up? Plot device. Yeah, plot devices. I don't like too many plot devices. I would rather them creatively work their way into something. That's what true storytelling is. I mean, this is the kind of the film that had little plot devices. Damon, being in place. being a co-conspirator and him being the only option to replace a built-up fight. I was like, okay. And then winning because his fight style was real dirty. He destroyed that dude, the one he fought before he fought Creed. But yeah, we got a question. What did the movie imply? Uh, I would say one of the big things that the movie implied was if you stay your ass out of prison, you can do some great things with your life. That's one of the big major underlying things. Basically to stay out of trouble. Chance Rogers, what is up? Stay your ass out of stay your ass out of prison. I mean, it was unfortunate as far as the story went. What happened to Damon? Damon was actually defending his homie, but like again, Damon was into some shady shit too. And let me ask y'all a question: Why is like the ex-con uh uh cookie cutter name is Damon? I mean, it's only two films where I know this is done, but I'm sure there's other Damons in other films, but it was two major ones. This one right here and Friday After Next, Terry Crews character. I mean, it wasn't no Tupac shit going on, and and, but let me even make a point about that. Yeah, I like the fact that masculinity, especially with black men, was not compromised in this film. I mean, two, two, two brothers, two brothers going at it, duking it out, and not having to shoot each other at the end of it. I also like the fact that in the end of the movie, when everything was said and done, that they weren't enemies. They still remember how they was as friends. It was kind of messed up the way Damon moved, but he was one of those guys that, hey, you know what? I don't have many options. Like, I spent half my life in prison. I got. He said, I got to get going. He was a guy that hit the ground running as soon as he got out. But it also was a statement of how you shouldn't give up no matter how bad it is. Because although Damon wasn't the best person in the world, um, he had a goal when he got out of prison, and he accomplished that goal by any means. Wasn't the best of it, but you had to admire the brother's tenacity. He admitted. He said, "I'm going to become champion." He also had a Damon's character also had a taste of what could have been by becoming champion. And the way they did it, he didn't take it from Adonis. He took it from someone else. Adonis was retired at the beginning. Like I said, he fought Pretty Ricky Conlon, the guy he fought at as the final boxing match in the first Creed. He lost by decision, but then he put your boy away at the beginning of this film, and then that was his retirement match. He had retired. His promotion company, had the champion in their ranks, and Damon took and Damon beat the shit out of that dude. And I say, I like, man, he finna beat this dude ass. I mean, first of all, that's the way the movie was going anyway. Yeah, he was fighting in prison, LaShawn. Yeah, he was fighting in prison, like as the story implies. He said he held it down in there, but see, the thing is though, with guys like that, they want the greatness, they want the fame, they want the limelight. They want the riches. Sort of like Adonis, the main character, had. So yeah, Damon was a like for the 2 hours this film was. Damon, Jonathan Majors did his thing in this film. Jonathan Majors has a very bright future in Hollywood. I mean, he played it down to like you were convinced that he was a guy who life got frozen like the before he went to prison. He still pretty much like seemed like that he like except for having some years on him that he pretty much had the same mentality that he just like when he got out he hit the reset button and said, "Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. Fuck all that." Then he was like he had the belts. He was a champ. So I felt like that was great. Now, as far as Adonis, like, yeah, he, MBJ's character, a real focus on, besides him being the boxer, the focus of his story arc was family and, raising his daughter. And, it kind of, when you're the father of a young daughter, it does kind of hit you. You think that you actually like those parts of the story. So, being with my daughter in the theater who wanted to go see the film just to hang out with her father, I thought that was a nice little touch. To have both of us watching that depicted on screen. And, just like the character first appeared as a baby in the second Creed film, and they found out that she was deaf. So, she's a deaf girl. She's played by deaf actress Mila Davis Kent. Let me see. Uh, 1 second. Yeah, nice little shot of the fictional family there. Yeah, she was pretty good in the role, but she wanted to be a fighter. She wants to be a fighter. They kind of like what they do with young girls in the films these days is they'll stick them in roles that kind of just I wouldn't say more fit for boys or whatever, because it is possible for her to be like a Layla Ali or something like that if that's where they're going with it. Then then her being deaf, then they use that little representation shtick, and but she was very good in that role. She did a great job. She was very good in that role. Said save me $20. That's how much you pay to see a movie. Man, go during the day. Go to the matinee. Shoot, get a discount price. Shoot, the movie's well worth it. Yeah. Also, the fight choreography, the the fight choreography, the way the fights were done, the cinematography, the way the fights were shot as well. Especially from the angles in which they were they were shot in. They were anime style. If you're a fan of anime, for the for the corny and the lames in all of us, yeah, I got a real big kick out of how the fights were. I like good movie fights anyway. What up, Greg? I like good movie fights anyway. If if there's a movie that has a series of great fights in it, that's all the film needs to do for me. The acting doesn't even need to be that great. I give an example, Undisputed 2 with Michael Jai White and Scott Atkins. In Undisputed 3, which acting was also kind of but it had some very good fight scenes in it. Like the boxing matches, they were definitely different. Like it was almost kind of like this is like the Any Given Sunday of boxing movies. But it was very creative the way it was, the way they like everything was shot. As far as like the midsection punches, like when he was fighting Ricky Conlon at the beginning, like how they would predict, like every time, like they would have them hitting the body, they would slow it down, and the punches would make the skin ripple and stuff like that. Little small details like that. And then even in the final match with Damon and Adonis, Yeah, one thing that I wanted to see was a knockdown drag out fight. Like I just didn't want to see Damon come in there like Clubber Lang and just destroy Adonis or something like that. I'm glad they depicted it as a back and forth fight, and really the fight came down to like the last punch. Like the whole breaking the guard thing and then knocking the man out. Couldn't take a midsection punch. Yeah. So let me get to that slide right here. Two punches in particular did jump out to me. Although they said the fights, the way they were choreographed, were inspired by Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. So I mean the fight scenes look cool, but I couldn't tell you the Naruto stuff. The promo shot. Let me see. Let me see if I can go ahead and get back to it. The promo shot here, that's a Naruto pose. Only because I read an article. That's a Naruto pose. So, but these two punches in particular were actually in the final fight, in the final boxing match. Yeah, yeah. Right now, I watch Dragon Ball Z. I believe I've watched all of Dragon Ball. Actually, I'm talking about like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, all of the animated films. And this particular fight right here had always jumped out, to be the Goku versus Majin Vegeta fight in the Majin Buu saga. For those of you who know about that, some of y'all don't, but some of us do. And yeah, they did that punch right there. So I thought that was a pretty cool shot. The other one was this. I was like, when like Adonis got hit in the midsection like that, the one thing I thought was Piccolo. I said, why are you looking like Piccolo? And then here's the pick right here. I mean, it looked just like that. I mean, almost, but still, I mean, it wasn't like old boy got up under him and then did that shit. It was like he hit him and then he just kind of slumped over, like, oh, yeah, yeah, but yeah, this, like me who have watched anime, cartoons and feature films and all that. I thought that was a cool little touch to it. So, I mean, but it's like why I gave the film a 4 out of 5. Yeah, like I said, 4 out of 5 is like although the film did like for me, it did not need Rocky Balboa in it the way the story flowed. It did not need it did not need Sylvester Stallone's presence. Still though, it's still that missing thing. It's like it's you know Adonis's primary trainer was Rocky Balboa, but in this film they had Wood Harris's character, who's the son of Apollo Creed's trainer. The bald black guy that was in Rocky Four, throwing the damn towel. That guy. Yeah, he Wood Harris is the son of that guy, and yeah, he filled the role pretty good. It's like although you watching the film, you would not have felt like that something was missing by Rocky not being there. It's just that Sylvester Stallone's shadow is all over this franchise. I mean, the only homage they paid to the only homage they paid to Rocky is when he won the match. They did the music. At the end of every Rocky match, like that he have in the movie, in the final main match, they had that music. Yeah, that music. They had that music at the end of the match between Creed and Damon, which I thought was like I said, are these guys trolling? Are these guys trolling? So the film still had its Rocky connection, but it was like more like an Easter egg because there were no mentions of Rocky. I mean, I saw an article where it was implied that they killed Rocky off, but they didn't do that, and there was no way they could have did that. Because that would just be that would have been a definite slap in the face to the legacy that Rocky Balboa has in this entire film franchise. And I like the film. I like the film. I watch it again. I'll probably buy it on digital. And that'll probably put another 2 cents in Michael B. Jordan's pocket, which would be great. Them actors can't get paid supporting this film. But like I said, I respect the original Rocky franchise as well. If I had to put Creed 1, 2, and 3 up against Rocky 1, 2, and 3, although I can relate better to the Creed series, shoot, it's not gonna have that epic nostalgia that the Rocky series was able to accomplish, minus Rocky 5. The second reason why I gave it a 4 out of 5, which a 4 out of 5 is pretty good, but it was just some inconsistencies in the story. Felicia Rashad, Mary character Marianne Creed, keeping Adonis from seeing the letters because, honestly, for real, if she thought Damon was just a bad kid, what the fuck can Damon do from prison? I mean, give him the damn letters. The man might be trying to get his life together, and he needed that extra push from Adonis, that support from Baby Creed. that's that's how he got that man into a fight. Call that man Baby Creed. Prime VA 757. What's going on? Like I guess whatever you got to do to move the story along, and Marianne really wanted to separate him from that life of being a juvenile delinquent, but still, it's like w- everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, shit, Damon wasn't a killer. I mean, he might have been into a couple of stupid ass nigga moments or whatever, but it just he could have if he'd have had his friend's support, Damon probably would not have done all that. Set up Victor Drago, bust him in his head so he can replace him in the fight. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was random with the letters because when they finally revealed why she kept the letters from him, she didn't reveal a real reason. The only thing she did was show him a picture of him and his homie that was in prison that did the attack on Victor Drago. Like he was doing like a Tanya Harding or some shit. No, you can't have this fight. It's like, damn. Victor Drago can't get no damn respect. His mother would never love him. I mean, for those of you who watched the second film, y'all would understand what I mean. Yeah, the whole Leon build up. Like I said, I had to question my own humanity because I was glad that he just got his ass whooped and not the other dark thing that I was like really hoping they wouldn't do. But it's like, like for real, they gotta stop playing us like we're these really just emotionally broken guys. Like like just like how many times you've seen these movies and these television shows with these old hip cat white dudes like my old man used to kick my ass when I was a kid. This dude is crying over this shit. And the reason and this is why I thought that it was darker than that. The worst thing you can do to a child is because he was making such a big deal of it. This dude grew up fighting in juvie. Shit. I mean, damn, it's like this dude named Leon. He used to kick my ass when I was too little to help myself, which yeah, can be very, very traumatizing. That might actually bother some of us who, I mean, I ain't never really been through anything like that, but I can empathize because we don't. Because see, here's the thing: we really don't empathize with young black men when they go through things. Yeah, I can empathize with that, but still, he beat the shit out of that dude when he saw him in front of that convenience store. He beat the man. That motherfucker gave that right hand and just damn, just started just unleashing on him. I was like, yeah, cool. I mean, I like seeing bullies being toppled. They killed Apollo. They keeping Rocky around. Hey man, you about 30 years late on that, LaShawn. I was like, I actually went back and watched Rocky 4 after I got out of Creed 3. Man, Apollo was talking cash shit to that man, and then he ended up dying. That Rocky damn near 80, yeah, where he fought Antonio Tarver in that film. In that film, Rocky Balboa, where his son grew up to be a pussy. Yeah. Hey man, look. This is about gonna do it for the review part. I'm just gonna kind of discuss this a little bit. So for those of you that was here for the review session of it, which is mostly like these are day ones anyway, then hey, you can stick around for the other part. I mean, I would love for everybody to be in here listening to me say something like, once Creed 2 came out, that Deontay Wilder wanted to play the son of Clubber Lang. Like that, like Clubber Lang Jr. You want to be Clubber Lang Jr., which number one would not have made any sense because I mentioned that Rocky son thing and Rocky Balboa. Because if you gonna have everybody's son come out the damn woodworks to fight Creed Jr., baby Creed, like it's like what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to get Rocky's son to all of a sudden get it in him that he wants to box and do some impossible training to get on his father's level so he can fight Adonis Creed. So it can be Creed Jr. versus Rocky Jr. And it's like that would uh that they're like that wouldn't have made any sense at this point for what they was trying to establish with Rocky's kid, him not wanting to be a fighter. But then you talking about Deontay Wilder, coming out of Clubber Lang Jr. Like man, you get like Deontay Wilder is from my home state, and I was still like, man, if you don't get the fuck up out of here with that, shoot. So that was about Creed. That was what was talked about with Creed 3. They was possibly gonna do like the offspring of Clubber Lang, but that was even before Michael B. Jordan was announced as the director of the film. So yeah, could there be a Creed 4? I believe they could do it, but it would have to make sense. It would have to be on the like they already did the Big Russian, so it would have to be on the level of Rocky 4. Which looking back at the Rocky films, I mean, they weren't like they were epic for the time. They're definitely cult classics and nostalgia pieces. But Rocky 4 wasn't all that for real. Rocky 5 wasn't either. I mean, what the Rocky films do but encourage you to stay in shape. Like that's why I like films like that. You look at how good in good shape these guys are, and then you want to do training montages themselves because Jonathan Majors was jacked for this film. That mother when he that picture up there when he was doing that rope shit, I was like, yeah, that was him for real. That they be doing some crazy shit to be get prepared for these films. I mean, these films paying them millions, so you want to do some crazy shit in order to encapsulate what that role is demanding. Shoot. Yep, that's basically what this film was right here. Black man versus nigga. Family man versus man just basically out on the street. Not out on the street, but a guy, someone who is with the streets. I ain't gonna say for the streets because that takes a whole other meaning. But Damon was portrayed as that. Hmm, I really want to find another word besides Pookie. I don't know. Pookie is such a sus thing to call somebody for real. Like shit, that's something you call a baby. Ooh, look at my Pookie poo. But since Pookie is a reference to a compromised individual, and that what Damon was, you know, and art imitating life. Of course, someone who has their shit together is going to be seen as a lame. My favorite Rocky movies in order: four, three, one, two, five. Five is trash. Yeah, five is trash. Shoot. The only good thing about five was the final fight. Man, I don't know. The Don King character too was making me laugh. Touch me and I'll shoot. Yeah, those about the two good things. Four, three. I don't know, man. I kind of like Clubber Lang a little bit better than Ivan Drago. I mean, Ivan Drago was like the robotic Terminator, like Russian, and then Clubber Lang was a shit talking black guy that came from nothing and and took something by force. I mean, shoot, I would even say that Clubber Lang was Rocky's most dangerous opponent. It wasn't Drago, it was Clubber Lang. Shoot, remember Rocky beat Drago in their first fight. He didn't beat Clubber Lang. He had to fight Clubber Lang two times. Man, say Anthony versus Tyrone. Shoot. So I mean, four. Yeah, four was a classic, but they used that to basically it was more of a quote. It was a Cold War film. Excuse me, Rocky Four. Yeah, Rocky Four was like used to push some type of political messaging. Yeah, Clubber was Thumper. Yeah. Yeah, Mickey was afraid to train Rocky for that fight. He's an animal. He's hungry. I mean, Burgess Meredith was old as shit in the Rocky films, and he lived some quite a few years after that. Because, like, I was like, damn, Burgess. Like when I saw him in Grumpy Old Men, like he was super funny in that film. I was like, damn, he went from old to even older. It's like, damn. Yeah, but I mean, who wouldn't agree? Who wouldn't agree that Clubber Lang was more dangerous than Drago? I mean, pretty much is like Rocky's career did not end because of Ivan Drago. Rocky's career ended because of Clubber Lang. Like Clubber Lang softened him up pretty good for Drago. Yeah, I mean, shoot. I mean, yeah, Adrian too. I don't want you fighting Rocky. Don't fight. Yeah, but it definitely had that. Let's see how is this black man versus nigga dynamic. Like I said, Damon was an ex-con. He was still into kind of some criminal stuff. I mean, not enough to get him put back in prison, but enough to let you know that he was on some fuck shit. I mean, kind of low key jealous of everything that Adonis had did because Adonis stayed on a better path. You know, implied in the movie that Adonis had gotten soft, or Donnie, that Donnie had gotten soft. Since their days of running the streets, you know, took the championship kind of by criminal means. And then when he fought the guy who was the champion, fought dirty as fuck. See, that's one thing. Like, I never underestimate a hood guy. I mean, you may think these guys are dummies, but they're smart. But they're smart in a devious way. Don't underestimate these fools. You'll end up losing and you don't know how it happened. Yeah. So you had that. You had a spiteful ass nigga who didn't care if he had to hurt the next black man, even if he was black, to get his. Kind of an evil, like. But the thing is about Damon, though, I didn't really think outside of his issues that he was all that bad a guy. I don't know if it was just me. He wasn't an evil antagonist. The man said Thunderlips gave it to Rocky. Man, fun fact: Hulk Hogan was almost fired from the WWF for playing Thunderlips because Vince McMahon's father did not approve of the wrestlers doing anything else besides wrestling, unless they're one of them dual sport guys, like that wrestled in the off season. He didn't want them doing anything else. But for the record, fuck Hulk Hogan. Yeah, but back to Damon and yeah, that was in reference to this the Thunderlips comment. Yeah, Hulk Hogan played Thunderlips in Rocky 3 right before Clubber Lang pieced him up and took the belt. What is your prediction? Pain. Yeah. So you had Damon, like I said, ex-con, spiteful ass dude, no respect, do anything by any means necessary. Then you had Adonis Creed, one that decided to keep his life together, worked hard, even though he was a boxer, worked hard to become the top of his game, uh, uh, retired, like with only one loss, as far as I know. It's like, yeah, he was like the only loss he had was the first time he fought Pretty Ricky Conlon. That was the only one. I mean, he kind of lost when he lost his car, but he kind of lost then. But that was not an official match. Um, yeah, he's a family man. He has done everything he can to secure a legacy, or basically to continue the legacy of the father he didn't know he had until like he was a teenager. I mean, one thing that this movie also shows you is no matter how it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So, one cool thing was the, positive outcome. They didn't really end up hating each other, you know. They wanted to leave it all in the ring. Now, I don't know if Damon had won that fight and Adonis didn't, would it have turned out, would they still would kind of had the respect or whatever? Probably would have. They probably would have wrote it in like that. Yeah. But for the record, I'm glad the black man won and the nigga lost. Yeah, I get. Yeah, I'm one of those ones that I gotta say that I'm a little petty about something like that because I don't know. It just seems like the nigga side gets rewarded so much socially. And I'm not talking about women. I'm not talking about that. Because they always have that looming. I'm just saying is it seems as if the nigga side is more protected than the black man side in real life. You know, in the movie, however, it was a giant swing the other way. Mm, yeah, legend. Always a shout out the legendary boxer with the superstar reputation, the married guy with the kids. They explore the element that sometimes a guy can slip up and make a mistake, and kids aren't really a mistake. But also looming that Adonis Creed was an outside kid, and it seemed like to me he was the outside kid did the most. It just like maybe it is a movie who has the underside, like I said, the underlying message of it's not how you start out, it's how you finish. Finish strong. He has a family. He settled down, got married to a really cool chick that was woman, excuse me, really cool woman who was very supportive of him. Like when he said, like he retired, which was what made her comfortable, with him retiring. But when he decided that yeah, I'm gonna go fight Damon. There's only one way to he's not gonna stop. There's only one way to solve this problem. She looked at him like, okay, well, go ahead and do what you got to do. She didn't push back. She wasn't like Adrian. Oh, oh my God, Rocky, just walk away from it. No, she told your boy, go do what you got to do, and that's basically all the fuck she needed to say. you know. So yeah, so great job, Michael B. Jordan. You know, making a good solid film, for your directorial debut. It didn't suck. And, if I could answer the question of what was it corny, like I put in the title of this broadcast, no, it was not corny. And that's a really, really bad thing to say. Like that somebody's corny just because they decide to steer away from being the nigga part. So yeah, let's get into some of that stuff. Michael B. Jordan is winning. He is winning. Here he is pictured with his family, accepting his star on the Walk of Fame. I mean, the kid has done so much in a short amount of time, and he still got he still got a lot of gas left in the tank. So it's not going to exactly end for him tomorrow, per se. God willing. He has a bright future. I mean, I just kind of hate the way guys like him are treated, like with as far as the social court of public opinion, just because of who he's dated and how he moves. He doesn't move like a compromised individual. He moves like a man who is about his business. Shoot, and I'm not worried about who this man dates. Not for real, for real. Shoot, and you shouldn't be either. This man has accomplished a lot in his career, and he's a black man that we should be proud of. In fact, his willingness to work with other black men to get common goals accomplished. Here you have Ryan Coogler, and you got Jonathan Majors. Now look at Jonathan Majors' facial shape. He can't help that shit. Every time he closes his mouth, he can't help that shit. He's a guy who has strong facial features, but he's a brilliant actor though. He is definitely a student of the craft. And it was just like, and he added so much to the film itself, just like he does in all his other roles, like him as Nat Love in The Harder They Fall. I really like that film. An ensemble black cast. Creed was a little bit more mixed, but blacks took center stage in this. Yeah, so I mean, be proud of the man. Everything ain't got to be a hate moment. Everything ain't got to be a hate moment. Shoot, just especially with this right here just happening, the whole corny thing. I was a corny kid, right? I mean, she was the one that mentioned that they was in high school. Shit, she wasn't. It wasn't like it was like, hey, how you doing, MBJ? Remember me? Bitch, you called me corny. He ain't do that. He said I was the corny kid. I mean, shit. Why? I asked this question repeatedly, and I can't get an answer because people already know the fucking answer to it. It's like, why do we as black people believe that we could just say same things to other black people with impunity? Why do we believe this? Why do we believe that Michael B. Jordan should not have said that to what's her name? L'Oreal? Oh yeah, Joe Budden. Like, motherfucker, what's wrong with Joe Budden? Yeah, he is corny. He was corny for that. Man, shut up. Don't nobody like, dude, let that man handle what he wants to handle. That's the problem with people. They love to see things bottled up and bottled inside of you. Shoot, if he did it, if he did a beat it chick on her, he should have did a beat it chick. She was the one that's trying to chase him down, so she can grow her podcast and want to use a guy that her and quite a few other people obviously picked on. Trust me, that's every person's dream to show up a bully. I'm sorry, guys. Not saying that she bullied him or whatever, or he liked her and she didn't like him back, because that's everyone's assumption. Yeah, but hey, just fuck it. Hey, I'm I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. That's how we should all took that shit. And then this right here. Then when he broke up with Lori Harvey, which he ended up dumping her, but everybody wanted to believe that she dumped him. And then, people want to say, man, he corny. He had what he took to hold it down. I say everybody who complains about people talking about relationships were all of a sudden relationship counselors. Now here's how you handle a woman, man. Nah, man, I don't want to hear none of that shit. This young lady right here obviously sees fucking as a business move. I mean, shit. Hey, do what you got to do. Just like Damon in the film, he did what he had to do to get his goals accomplished. I mean, I ain't mad at her. What am I gonna be mad at her for? Shit, whatever. You know, whatever goes on with hers is between her and whoever else. But the way, like, I don't know, it's just like the way that black men get treated overall. When we're in these situations. Mm, yeah. Oh yeah, this one right here, the brotherly embrace. Yeah, let's talk about this one for a second. Now, have I myself ever been in a brotherly embrace? Uh, I would have to say, yeah, and it wasn't anything that was just so super casual that it just always used to happen, but it always happened like as a form of recognition, or maybe at a family reunion, a relative would come from behind you and say, "Yeah, what up, man? What's going on?" You know, there's nothing wrong with that, because see, whenever that happened to me, never once did I feel like somebody was trying to slip their dick in my behind. Never once. Never once. Never happened. Never happened. People going around, this image is guy. It's so guy. I was like, man, sex is all over y'all minds. I don't care what kind of sex it is. Heterosex, homosex, like shit. Everything has to be sex. And then another problem I have with the context that people put these kind of things in is the fact that you guys believe that black men are just supposed to be fighting. that black men are always at odds. Now, am I rushing to get in a pose like this with anybody? No. No. Well, all those times, people like family members caught up with me and gave me that like solidarity embrace from behind, which sounds very sus when you say from behind. Did I want to stay in those poses? No, I didn't. Hey man, I love you, man. I love you too, dog. Okay, that's about as far as it goes. Get away from me. But look at this picture too. They tried to make fun of this picture. Chadwick Boseman looked like he was sick in that picture already. Maybe Michael B. Jordan knew something we didn't know. And today, Chadwick Boseman has since then passed away. So black men just disagree and leave each other alone. LaShawn Jefferson says that's not exactly true in a lot of cases. Like, I don't have this pseudo sisterhood view on black men. I don't. I don't believe that we're just totally innocent in everything. You know, I don't believe just because someone has a penis that they deserve the benefit after benefit after benefit after benefit of the doubt. No, I don't give that to anyone. It's whether you got a penis or a vag, I don't give that luxury. Be fair about shit. People be misinterpreting shit all the time. Like I said, Chadwick Boseman already looks sick in this picture. I mean, I hear about the Hollywood weirdo stuff. Yeah, I hear about that all the time. Shoot, but is that the first? If that's the first thing you jump to, then maybe it's more reflecting that you need to do. If that's the first thing you jump to, like I said, I'm not rushing to get in these poses. I'm just saying, niggas just be too much sometimes. Always trying to play hard and steel chested just because you think some female is watching. Fuck them bitches, man. No, I'm good, man. Shit. I'm good. Man should express their feelings more, man. Get the fuck out of here. No, some of us guilty, just not me. You not either. No, I don't believe in the breaking down of. I don't believe in the breaking down of black men, but you also can't deny the existence of issues that we all have. Shoot, we can't even stand to see a black man successful in anything. I mean, shit. This young man, he has to get Michael B. Jordan has to get called corny for everything that he has accomplished in his life, and the dude ain't even 40 yet. Some of us damn near 50, wish we could get half of what this man accomplished. Sure, when we do things in a way that isn't uniform or textbook to the way things that we feel things should be, then that's when we go all out and just start being haters. Yeah, y'all being haters toward Michael B. Jordan. You ain't gotta like the dude, but damn. I mean, you ain't gotta like nobody. You ain't gotta like me. Shoot. But you will respect me. That's just how I am with it. I'm not gonna beg for it. I'm just telling you how it is. Shoot. So, at the end of the day, really good film. Creed 3. I suggest I suggest that you go check this film out if you haven't, if these are your kind of films. Hmm. All right. So 3000 GT Atlanta, thanks for the Cash App. Really appreciate it. Shoot. and thanks for all your support. Also, Greg Cash at me at the end of the broadcast last night, so I appreciate uh, his as well. So, shoot, so it's been an hour. So, how long can a review go? I mean, I'm not gonna spend this whole time chastising you guys. Shoot, I mean, you can only tell grown ass people so much. Yeah. So, see something real quick. Hmm. So, for those of you who watched Creed 3, did you think it was a good film? Great film? Awesome film? Yeah, Greg already said that, he thought it was a good film. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Said the movie was good. All right. Well, I think that's about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and ride into the sunset and see what's up. But tomorrow night I'm gonna be discussing the whole Chris Rock thing. Him finally responding to what happened to with him and Jada and Will. Yeah, which I thought it was, pretty bad that we put ourselves on display like that. Art in the stall, what's going on? Yeah. So, Art, did you get a chance to check out Creed 3 yet? Mm. Yeah. Hmm. Said not yet. Oh, okay, well, you might want to wait. You might want to wait to rewind this broadcast and watch it because I gave away a lot of spoilers. I mean, it's like I said, it's a pretty good film. Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. He did pretty good and like look like he's maintained a solid future in Hollywood. The employment of black actors is always a plus with me. Tessa Thompson being one that started out in Creed. I don't remember her being in anything else. You know, Jonathan Majors did pretty good. The boxing matches were shot pretty good. But anyway, yeah, I'm about to bring this one to an end. Yeah, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. With this discussion analysis of Creed 3. Shoot, check out the Black Dimension. Me and Roger and Donnie are probably do a review within the next couple days on that channel. And hopefully you guys are here tomorrow night. So shoot, so anyway, that's it for me. Long live the habitual line steppers. Kev, we trust. And when you don't quit, just like Creed in the film, when you don't quit, you win. Prime example. So, Creed 3, check it out. Peace.